First of all, thank you so much for inviting me. It's a pleasure to tell you a little bit more about what we do here. So really at Watchup, our vision is to create the very first cross-platform video news app for enjoying your news, enjoying your daily newscast really from a variety of channels. Some people have compared us to Flipboard for video, some others to Hulu for news. In reality, what we do is just to try to find all the best video news clips that are available on the web or from our direct partners, and create a unified stream that plays continuously on your iPad and on Google Glass. So I thought that I might show you if that works, a little video here where you can really see a little bit how the app works in case you didn't have time to use it yet. So Watchup is really the fastest way to watch the news because we assemble all the best and latest videos from your favorite channels. You can schedule your daily newscast, which is a widely popular feature, and receive it every morning. For instance, it's perfect for your morning routine. And you can also read the related article all while watching, so that you can get more context about the video you're watching. We also like to think about us as you know, while digital video is booming, and there are platforms who were extremely successful in really trying to find that category-defining product for video entertainment, for instance. That's what also we want to apply to news. So we want to create that beautiful cross-platform and personalized interface to get to know the world around you through news videos. We also were the first to kind of offer that multi-channel video news experience on Google Glass with an app that's still closed to the public. It's still in closed alpha, and that we hope to be able to release very soon. This is also something that I can show you because we did a little video here. Here you are, you wake up in the morning watching your newscast on iPad, and then you start walking, and you have all the latest news videos that you can pick from a selected list. Be careful while you cross the street. And then this is really the first time that video news was brought to Glass. We were even the first to use the YouTube player, even before YouTube could launch an app for Glass. So back to the presentation. Let me tell you a little bit about our latest achievements. So Watchup is the only video news app that has been constantly featured by Apple in the news category for the past year. We also had the chance to be picked by the PBS NewsHour as one of the 5 top apps to watch the NewsHour on iPad, and that's a little bumper that you can get on the NewsHour every other day. We launched recently the 2.0 version of our product, and we saw an amazing spike in level of engagement. This is probably our KPI, main KPI, the number of videos watched per user per month, which went from 22 to 60 just by improving the interface. I'd be happy to elaborate on that later on if you want. We're also going to start monetizing the app very soon. We have a few partners lined up in order to basically send us their pre-roll ads, and we would take a rev share out of the revenues generated on Watchup. Partners include Washington Post, Wall Street Journal, Univision, and many others. We are soon going to launch the 3rd generation of our product. It's going to happen at the NAB show in Las Vegas at early April, and the app is going to be available for the first time on Android tablets as well. A few words about the company. We created it along with Jonathan Landell, who's the CTO of the company, and he has 30 years of experience. He co-authored the Python framework called Web2Py. And as for me, I came to Stanford on a night fellowship 3.5 years ago. I previously created several digital news sites in Europe, including cafebabel.com. And I created my first newspaper and last one, actually, at age 9. So I've always been passionate about this space. Those are our advisors. They include Gordon Krovitz, who's the former publisher of the Wall Street Journal. And we have raised $1.5 million so far from the likes of Microsoft Ventures, Digital News Ventures, Knight Foundation, Stanford Angels and Entrepreneurs, and others. So here's about Watchup. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
So in establishing in the digital space, tell me what your audiences have told you that they're looking for specifically in terms of content from you.
Sure. I think that there are lots of apps out there, some of which failed, who have been doing video curation and video aggregation. What we found being extremely valuable to our users were the fact that Watchup was focusing on the news vertical instead. And while those all these electronic devices are becoming more and more easy to use, also, almost making us lazier and lazier, people really like and really appreciate lean back experiences where they have very little to do. So the fact of having a crystal clear value proposition of basically getting all the best and latest videos in the shortest amount of time with literally the smallest effort, it's something that people like a lot. So it's about picking a vertical, sticking to it, being extremely bold about what you do. For instance, on Watchup, you cannot watch any type of video. You cannot add any YouTube channel. It's really a curated experience about news. It's really about, I want to see what's going on in the world in a video format so that I can let the app play in the background while I'm getting ready for the morning, while I'm preparing dinner, etc., etc. All these use cases that people used to associate to TV. When you are in the mood for learning about the world around you, this is what we deliver. This is what our users love.
Adriano, I think anyway, the user gets to control what his or her newscast is going to be like by picking the different clips. Have you thought about making your own newscasts, curating it yourself, or actually maybe I should ask if you're doing that now?
We do now. Actually, it's interesting because when I showed you the data about number of videos watched per user per month, the comparison was really between the first generation of the product and the second one. So what the second one does is really to play continuously from a video to the other. So you open the app and you start watching a video. You can reorder your newscast if you want. You can swipe to the next video. If you don't, the app would just keep playing your personalized newscast for you. So there is no need for the user to choose anything at all at the beginning. And that was the friction that we were seeing with Watchup 1, where we were basically asking you to pick the videos you like. Let me see if I can find. No, I don't have it here. But really, it's all about creating a lean back experience that's extremely valuable. And so that personalized newscast, it's really what we do now. And we spend a lot of time refining our algorithm. You're going to see a lot of improvements for that in the third generation of the product, where really we are going to look at the channels you watch the most, the type of content and topics and categories you watch the most, the length of videos. So there are lots of elements that are going to be taken into account in order to really let you discover all the best news videos with the smallest effort.
Adriano, can you talk a little bit about, you said that the scheduled newscast is very popular. Can you talk a little bit about what time of day you tend to see users looking for that, and anything that you can tell us about Wi-Fi usage versus non-Wi-Fi usage and maybe place of usage?
Sure. It's really straightforward. It's mainly at home, and the main times are really in the morning and in the evening. And that's not surprising. It's when people start their day. Many users tell us about how they're using the app. Male users use it while shaving. Many users use it, while getting ready in the morning, while preparing dinner in the evening. So it's very similar to the way people use TV, and so that's a good insight. We also know that half of the sessions start with the user receiving their daily notification. So that speaks by the popularity of that feature, and that's also what we are trying to do long term. It's really to try to fit into people's life, improve those people's life by offering a wide variety of perspectives on what's going on in a video format. It is also extremely easy to use with a very lean back value proposition.
Adriano, when it comes to wearable devices, it seems so novel. I have one on my wrist right now, and I know a lot of people have dabbled with Google Glass. Where do you see the real opportunity for a news organization with wearables in terms of the content they deliver, how they deliver it, what it looks like, that kind of thing?
Sure. I think that there are very, nowadays we are used to talk about wearables in a very general way. I think that there are fundamental differences between something that you can wear on your wrist or something you can wear on your eyes, right? It's a totally different experience. It is probably even more different than what a smartphone and a tablet experience might look like, because in the case of your wrist, it's really about getting data about what you do, so that later on you can visualize them, or can give you even an immediate feedback. In case of what you see, and namely video, it's really right on your eyes. So it's an extremely strong experience. Although I have to say, I was really surprised when I first picked up my pair of glass, to see that the experience had been conceived in a way for it to be not intrusive at all. It's not. We're not talking about augmented reality goggles. We're not talking about Oculus, right? It's a small fraction of your visual space that's populated with digital content, and that's actually very valuable. It's a very good way for I think content creators in general and news organizations in particular to get to the user's attention, maybe in the most intimate part of their lives. And that's also the reason why you have to be very careful when you think about those experiences by picking videos, for instance, in our case, that are very short. In the case of user organization that's mostly focused on text, by really trying to find extremely relevant content, maybe personalized to the location of the user, it would be something very, very interesting. Although it's certainly not the only type of content that would work. We are seeing it in our experiments right now. So it's a whole, I would say it's a whole new space. It's a very different space, very fragmented right now, really. There are very few devices who can claim to have owned a space. And that's the reason why I think news organizations have to start early on experimenting in order to learn what works, what doesn't, and trying to iterate and adapt to this new reality as soon as possible.
Okay, and very last question, and that is, you were talking a little bit about audience, but from analytics, do you have anything on the back end, analytic-wise, that's telling you whether this is resonating or whether folks are just kind of doing the one-off experience when it comes to wearables again and Google Glass?
Oh, I would say it's too early to say. Unfortunately, the limitations we have right now from Google in terms of the API limits are still too strong in order to tell you. But the good news is that last week we finally received feedback from Google. So in order to be able to go ahead with the certification process, because the app is available, but you can only access it if you are whitelisted. And again, that's because the API limits are so low. So what we're going to do is to, I guess, in the next few weeks, is to release the app to the public as a public beta, and so we will be able to better understand the way people are using it. But also, one thing to consider is that the Google Glass has been around for over a year now, but yet it's not a consumer product, I would say, because there are no consumers who would spend $1,500 to have it. So we will really have to wait until real people are going to pick it up, because right now it's mainly geeks and developers, and so we are going to see whether it's going to be interesting to see whether Google will launch it later this year or not. Chances are they will.
Okay. Adriano Farano, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you joining us this morning.
Thank you.